back, man. Yeah. Jimmy. Lights, camera, action. Some people thought I quit and I ain't giving satisfaction. From a different era, writing rhymes up on napkins. What you had to say was more important, man, than traffic. Yeah, I'm talking back then. Speaking of contemporary. What's good, family, and welcome to another episode of Jimmy Bond's Podcast, right here on WPEB Radio, 88.1 FM, 95.1 FM, West Philadelphia. What's good, family? What's good? What's good? We are back for another show, another week. And before we continue, I can't forget our co-host, so shout out to my man, Ty T.Y. What's good, Ty? How you feeling?
All good in the neighborhood, JB. Live from the 215.
Live from the 215. And I can't forget our other co-host, the lovely Miss Lady T. What's up, Lady T? How you doing, mama?
Hey, fellas. How you doing? Thank you for the red carpet and the flowers. I appreciate it.
You always get bouquets of them. Bouquets of them.
Yes.
Moving right along, friend. Remember, you can call us with your comments or your questions at 215-472-0881. Again, that's 215-472-0881. You can also email us at jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. Again, it's jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. It's JIMMYBONDS podcast@gmail.com. Also, family, make sure you follow us on Instagram at Jimmy Bonds Podcast, on Twitter at Podcast Bonds, and make sure we continue to open a dialogue on the Jimmy Bonds Podcast Facebook group. Let's keep this thing going. Moving right along, family, tonight, we have some special guests. They will be here soon. And this is a very important episode. It's a special episode, an exclusive episode. So I hope all our listeners out there are listening. We thank y'all for listening each and every week. To all the family out there, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And before we continue, before our guests get here, I want to make sure we send a special shout out to one of our loyal listeners, Miss Rice.
Yay.
Happy birthday, Rice. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Y'all want to say happy birthday to her? Happy birthday to ya.
Hey.
Happy birthday to ya.
Hey.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya.
Hey, hey.
Happy birthday to ya.
Hey.
Happy birthday. That's all I got. That's all I got. That's all I got.
I ain't getting no happy birthday song like that last week.
I shouldn't expect this from T. I should always expect that from T. She gonna let me know. But happy birthday to you too, mama.
Yeah, thank
happy
you.
Birthday,
Happy
5-0,
birthday, Rice.
big deal.
Yes.
Shout out to all the people that hit the 5-0. Because some of us didn't make it. So we always want to make sure we celebrate our big days. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But family, tonight's show is it's a special show. It's an exclusive show. It's something that we felt that it was important for us to highlight and talk about and get to. So with that being said, our guests are here. We're going to go to break real quick and get our guests and bring them in so we can have this conversation. I don't want to talk about what it's about because I think it's just too important. I want to make sure you guys tune in for it. So we'll be right back, family. Remember, you can call us with your comments or your questions at 215-472-0881. Again, that's 215-472-0881. You can also email us at jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. Again, that's jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. It's JIMMYBONDS podcast@gmail.com. You listen to the Jimmy Bonds Podcast right here on WPEB Radio, 88.1 FM, 95.1 FM, West Philadelphia. We'll be right back. And welcome back, WPEB Radio, 88.1 FM, 95.1 FM, West Philadelphia. Remember, family, you call us with your comments or your questions at 215-472-0881. Again, that's 215-472-0881. You can also email us at jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. Again, it's jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. It's JIMMYBONDS podcast@gmail.com. And welcome back, family. Tonight, we have some special guests with us tonight. This is a very exclusive interview. We are so happy to have you in the studio. So happy for you guys to join us. But what we wanted to do is have a discussion with Mr. Zaire Wilson and his mom, Miss Hanibal, in regards to an incident that happened back in January 11th to be exact. And there was so much misinformation that was put out there about this experience. There were so many things that were misconstrued, so many things that were said. Evidence wasn't looked at. But tonight's show, family, the title of tonight's show is Guilty Till Proven Innocent. And I think I think the best way to start this is to allow both of our guests to speak about their experience and what they had. So, Zaire, if you don't mind, my friend, if you don't mind sharing a little bit about your experience since January, really, everything you experienced since then.
My experience was depressing, traumatizing, sad, disappointing. A lot of emotions I was going through since January 11th. Yeah, a lot of emotions I was going through since January 11th, so I still go through a lot. Like, I got to stay in the house. I can't hang out with my old friends no more because they betrayed me because what the news put out there that I had criminal record, never been in jail a day in my life. They said I handed him the gun, never touched the gun, didn't even touch the gun. All I did was shake his hand. Basically, everybody that you said I was guilty by association because I shook his hand. And nobody believed me. Nobody believed I was innocent until I got to the youth. The shooter, when I got booked, me and him was in the same van. He was telling that one cop, I don't know his name, saying I had nothing to do with it. Saying I don't know why he here when I was in the youth. The next day, I woke up. So the shooter was in there with me. I immediately started crying, started thinking about Shotty, started thinking about, like, I'm really here, like, I never been here. And he kept saying I was going to do 15 to 20, 10 to 15 for something I had nothing to do with. And every time I cried, the shooter would tell the staff, I don't know why he crying. He had nothing to do with it. He wrote a letter to my lawyer and the DA saying I had nothing to do with it. And I just feel like if the shooter told y'all on scene I had nothing to do with it, why am I still here? First of all, when I was booked, they had nothing on me at all. They kept saying, the judge actually kept saying, look at the video. They didn't want to look at the video. I know they had the video the whole time. There's no way my case is this big and y'all don't got the video. So they basically was trying to hold me so I can tell. It was nothing to tell about. It was really nothing to tell about. And then, mind you, I'm in there getting blamed for one of my best friends in murder. I'm in there getting death threats and all this type of bad energy from people I was cool with out here. So now when I come home, it's like I got no friends. Had to cut some of my family members off. I had to just be on my own. But before January 11th, I had all these friends, all this support, and people I would just hang around that was just cool. But when they booked me, or when they arrested me, they didn't even look at the video. They just assumed it was me because they sent the picture around to the police because I shook boy's hand. I didn't know I didn't know the shooter from a can of paint. I only knew him from school. And I never talked to him, ever. Never talked to him. I never was in his class. Every time we seen each other in school, we would just walk by each other and we didn't talk. Only reason I shook his hand, cause he called me. Before this even happened, I would dap up random people, talk to random people, even be around random people just because they was my friends. So it was like, this could have happened to anybody. This could be anybody in my situation. And this could have been them getting blamed for something they did not do. Me personally, everything that happens in the city, I don't believe anything the news say. I believe on facts. And the stuff that they was saying, that's not even my character. I'm not passing no gun to somebody. Why would I want somebody to shoot down 15th and Market, where all my friends, my brother, and one of my cousins is at? Why would I do that? and we was just all having fun. Why would I want them to shoot down 15th and Market? That's not even my character. Then, if I had something to do with it, wouldn't a person run from away from this situation? No. I came back downstairs to see if everybody was okay, including my friends and my brother. One of my friends came and told me, Shotty got hit. I didn't believe him, cause he joke around too much. Then I see the police carry his body upstairs. I'm crying over his body. Woke off, had a panic attack. Leak tell me to go calm down, so I walk downstairs. I'm calming down. Then I'm about to walk back upstairs. The police point at me from across the platform. I said, me. And once I seen them put me in cuffs, I'm like, what do y'all got me for? And he showed me the picture. And he was like, you were involved in the shooting. I said, what? In my mind, I'm like, this is not me. This is not my character. And I know dang well I had nothing to do with it. I'm a smart kid. I'm not dumb. What happened that day, no kid should ever go through that. I'm happy. R.I.P. my friend Tashawn. I'm happy nobody else got hit. Nobody else. Because it was 75 kids down there. 75 of us. And usually a lot of people get hit. I'm happy nobody has to go through that. I'm sorry, Shotty mom has to go through that. I'm still going through that. My brother's still going through that. A lot of people still are going through that. A lot of people's feelings are going to be hurt. Shotty was a brother, a friend. He motivated people. He was respectful. He loved to dance. He loved going outside. And he loved pushing all our friends to the limit. Like, if you say you can't do something, he'll be like, don't say that. I'm going to push you to your limit and I got you. But what they got to understand is, what I went through was something I never thought in a million years I would go through. I never even thought I would be in jail. Never thought I'd be arrested for. Never thought I would be blamed for something I didn't do. I literally got blamed for my friend murder. And it took them 6.5 weeks to look at the video and say, this kid had nothing to do with it. Then it took them, I think, a week to release that I had nothing to do with it. Then when I got home, I had to get the support from my mentor, staff, his rebuilding nonprofit program foundation. I just had a lot of people who wanted to kill me. I still do. Got a lot of people who want to kill me. Still kind of get a lot of threats. People still think I did it. It's just the DA and the news, they put out there that I did it. I did it. So it's not like the kids or the adults is going to believe it. What they already put out there, the damage is done.
Yeah.
I'm still getting blamed for it. After all the evidence came out, I literally had nothing to do with it. I can't even go out, can't even go walk around outside unless I have somebody with me. My friends only got three real friends left. 3. And I used to have like 10 of them that I grew up with. Because they all said I did it. Even one of my friends tried to give him my address. Oh. He told the boys that was, I got Shine, do something to me. I'll show you where his address is at. I'll show you where his house at. Mind you, I done a lot of stuff for the kids I was around that I did not have to. I gave them money. I paid for studio sessions out of my pocket. I didn't have to do that. I did not. They wanted to rap. I wanted to rap. They wanted a new sound to make it out. They wanted to make party songs. They wanted to sing. They wanted to rap. Alright, I got it for him. I even paid for food that day. Mind you, we've been to studio like 5 times. I paid that out of my pocket, except for one time when I went with my friend. I paid that out of my pocket. I never bought this back on them or said y'all broke or y'all can't pay for this. No, I'm not that type of bull. They was my friends, and I wanted to pay for a studio session, so that's what I was going to do. And it's like, after all I done, after all the people I helped, they think this is my character. I still can't get my life back. My friends that I love so much is gone. People still think I did it. I don't know what I gotta prove to them. I had nothing to do with it. I don't know if I gotta talk to them. And then it's like, I just feel bad for his mom, because she has to go through losing her son. Yeah. And I know Shotty was really close with his mom, so it's like, I can't imagine feeling that pain. But it's a lot of people out here saying I shouldn't be out, or he did it, or he did that. They just want to see an innocent man in jail for no reason. I'm happy I got on 6.5 weeks. This could have took 3 to 5 years to get the charges dropped.
Yeah.
I was getting charged with conspiracy, murder 1 and 2, assault, endangerment, and some other charges. For something I had nothing to do with. I was in a unit called HF. They called us killers. We was the killers in there. Mind you, I didn't look at none of them kids in there as killers or none of that. They was telling me these stories. I was telling them mine. None of them kids in there shouldn't be in there at all. A lot of them is in the same situation I'm in, who been here for a year fighting conspiracy just because he's seen a bull and won't tell. What the DA gotta realize is that this black community, they have this no snitching rule. So if they snitch and something happen to them, whose fault is it? Whose fault is that gonna be on? Them. Because they got them to testify, they got them to write a statement, and now their life is in danger. And now forever, they're going to be portrayed as a snitch. Me personally, I wasn't in the streets. I told my mom, my mentor, my pastor, and my therapist I wasn't ratting. And I'm not in the streets. A lot of people, one of my friends, he was like, bro, rat, get out of there. I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm not doing that. So I can have a bigger target on my back. I'm not ratting. I literally told that to them many a times. I'm not ratting. Then the shooter wrote a letter. He was in there talking about the case. I don't know what was in his mind that day. I don't know why he did what he did. I don't know who was a target. I don't know if he was just shooting just to shoot. I don't know. I can't witness to something I didn't. I just can't. They want me to. First of all, they wanted me. They basically. I was in there for trying. They basically wanted me to rat it on them. What am I ratting about? I had nothing to do with it. I don't even know why I'm here. I'm technically a witness. I'm a witness. Nobody. Everybody that's saying they want to hurt me. A lot of people wasn't there. They didn't see Shotty on the ground like I did. They didn't see blood like I did. They didn't see their friend on the ground, and their eyes is not. He's not moving. Nobody's seen that except for 6 people. And when I tried to go over there, they pointed guns in my face. And when I was in the police station, District 9? District 9. I'm in there without food, water, or they ain't let me go to the bathroom. They wouldn't even let me call my mom. They said I couldn't call my mom. My mom was giving me an attorney. I kept asking, can I call my mom? They said, you can't do that. I'm like, huh? You can't call your mom here? I'm like, I'm a minor, though. They was like, you can't call your mom. So, then I got on this little phone call for an interview thing to go to a mini trial where they give you your charges. They said after the mini trial, I can have a phone call. Still wasn't given a phone call. Then I stayed the night there. I slept on a hard rock, little thing like this, with my neck and back hurting. Then they took me to the youth. Then that's when I got a phone call. That's where I got resources that helped me with my case. Everybody in there, they had my back. They was calling my mom every day and telling her how I was in there. First week, I was crying because one of my best friends just got shot, and I'm in here getting blamed for it, and I'm getting death threats. That's all I'm thinking about. Then when I call my friends, oh yeah, they want to do something to you. Why are you even saying that to me on the phone? Even if I ask, why are you putting that in my mind? That's going to make it worse. So then, I get the bull went upstate. So that's when my case really started getting serious. That's when my mom came up and told me, Shotty died. I didn't cry in front of her. I just wanted to go back to the cell. And when I went back to the cell, I was angry. I was crying. I even had a couple times in there, I had suicidal thoughts on my mind. I wanted to stay in my room, but my mentor, Steve, told me, you can't stay in your room because it's going to get bad. He said, you got to treat your trauma. So every time I go to sleep, I think about Shotty. I think about why. I think about, like, dang, it just happened like that. Like, we was just together. We was just at Level Up. He was just dancing, doing the thing that he loved. And now I'm getting blamed for his murder. And anything I do or try to do, nobody wants to hear the truth. They want to hear all lies. I'm not going to say what they want to hear. Oh, yeah, I did this, I did that, because it's not true. I heard rumors I backdoored them. I handed a gun. I pointed at him. We came down there together. He was my friend. None of that is true. I don't know bull. Never handed him the gun. Never pointed. Never was with him. At first, I was with Shotty. I told him before he died or got shot. We got off the train. I said, I love you. I said, I love you, Salam. He said, I love you too. He said, I'm going to text a group chat when I get home. Then we was walking. Me and my brother and my other friend. We was walking. Then my brother said, oh, the train come in 6 minutes. So we waiting. So I'm playing with a girl. I'm chasing her. I yoke her up playfully. I hear somebody call my name. Then I'm ignoring it. I look back. Hear somebody call my name again. Then I'm like, oh. He walks up to me. We dap up, hands. I'm saying, what he doing down here? Because, mind you, I go to a school, like, out of Philadelphia. So, it's weird seeing somebody out of Philadelphia, my school, be where I be at. So, it's like, dang, I'm like, what you doing down here? Why you down here? Just ask them type of questions. He not really talking to me. Like, he's saying answers, but he not really talking to me. I don't know, he seemed a little off, but me, I'm always on my A's and Q's. I should have peeped it. So when we leaving each other, And then he asked me who I was with. I said my brother. So we leaving each other. I guess we walking up towards the kids. Instantly, out of nowhere, I hear gunshots. I immediately run. And some officers ask me, why you run? What you mean why I run? If anybody heard gunshots, their first thought is to run. What, you want me to stand there? I'm not Superman. I'm not bulletproof. So I ran. Came back downstairs. Got guns pointed at my face. They let me go. Then my other friend told me Shotty got hit. Went upstairs. Seen blood. Seen him on the ground. Seen he wasn't moving. We was all crying. And there's a lot of people out there who didn't know Shotty. It's like a lot of fake love out there. Mind you, his mom thinks, I'm not saying it in a disrespectful way. His mom thinks everybody was his friend. No. The people that Shotty hung around every day was me and our little group, which we had was a group called MBM. What we made was called Motivated by Money. We had our own little group. We hosted parties. We did dance battles. We went to studio sessions. We went out to eat together. We went skating together. And we all got like haircuts together. We all talked to girls together. We all stayed at each other's cribs except for Shotty house. I brought them over my house. They came to got me. They came to got me so we could go to level up parties. Cause me, I don't like coming outside. If you really know me, I don't come outside. Unless I'm forced to or peer pressured. So when I'm being peer pressured, I don't like peer pressure to come outside. I don't like when they do that. So it's like they be like, "Oh, you turkey? Like you not trying to go talk to these girls?" I'm like, "All right, bro. I'm just coming, bro." Cause I don't got time for their mouth in the group chat all day. Z3, Zaire wasn't outside. I don't want to come outside. Only time I came outside was when I was hosting a party, I was getting my hair cut, or going to the stew, or going to see a girl. So then, Shotty, he meant a lot to a lot of people, especially in our little group. And it's like, I come home, everybody knows Shotty. Everybody knows Shotty now. Everybody was his best friend. Where was his energy at when he was alive? Yeah. It was a lot of people talking down on him, talking down on me, talking down on our group, disrespecting us. We had to cut a few people off. And this one friend that we had, he did a lot to us. Like, he stole. Like, say if we was talking to a different girl at once, he'll go tell that girl, like, why are you doing that? And then he'll go have sexual intercourse with the girl. He's doing it for females. He'll show off. Like I got an uncle on my mom's side. I was with him every day. We be with girls automatically. He starts showing off. Oh, he ugly. Oh, didn't you have them shoes on yesterday? Like, bro, why are you doing that?
Let me ask you this, Zaire. Let me ask you this, man. First of all, I'm gonna make a statement to you, brother. I'm gonna say welcome home.
Thank you.
And I know you might hear that a lot, but really, welcome home, bro. You've been through a lot, and a lot is an understatement. You've been through more than what some people go through in a lifetime, and you're only 16. So welcome home, bro. You have walked through a fire that some men who are grown men couldn't do themselves. So, you're a testament of resilience. You're a testament of belief and faith. And I think that, with all that you've experienced, and particularly with the friends you've lost, the people you've lost, the loved one you lost, you know, we as a community have to make sure we continue to build you back up. And I think more than anything else, you know, as your mom sits here with us, you know, I'm a parent as well. I got a 5-year-old son. He's not your age, but I think about him in the same context. We want to protect our kids. Am I right, Mom?
Absolutely.
At all points, we want to protect our kids, and no matter what. And in this situation, your protection was taken away. They just took it away from you. They didn't allow you to protect your son the way that you would protect your son. So I say it again. Welcome home, brother. And I'm gonna ask you this, you know, how have you been coping with your experience? How have you been managing your everyday to day? I love it. It's great. I said, how have you been managing? How you been coping with your day to day?
Not bad. I mean, bad. Like, all I can think about was that day. Then it's like, all these people hate me now for no reason. And people, like, when I first got home, people was like, oh yeah, you gonna get touched, you gonna get this done to you gonna get that done to you. For something I ain't even do. For something I had no parts of. And it's like, the damage is already done. It's none the DA or the news can do anything about that.
No. And I'm sorry, T, go ahead.
First, I would like to say, I am so sorry that you had to go through all of that, and all of that happened to you. And not only did it happen to you, but it happened to your family as well. So I know as bad as it was for you, it had to be worse for your mom, because it wasn't anything that she could really do. You know what I mean? Like, at some point, Mom, I'm to think that you kind of felt that even as a mother, your power was taken away. You really couldn't even protect your son. No matter how much he pleaded that he was innocent and he had nothing to do with it. It's the worst feeling in the world to be a parent and to feel powerless as a parent when you can't protect your kid. Because as a parent, all you want to do is protect your kid. You know? So I really do apologize that you had to go through all of that and all of that happened. Not even that, but it just makes you ask questions. You know, the cops are supposed to be the people that are supposed to de-escalate the problem. They're supposed to ask questions. And they never, I'm listening to him speaking, it's almost like they never asked him.
They didn't care to ask.
They didn't care to ask. All they wanted was just to blame somebody.
Yeah. Let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this
You
up
know,
as quickly
and
as we
not
can.
even that, but he lost one of his friends.
He lost his best friend, his brother. He lost his brother that day. So he's Mom, I'm gonna ask you this, as you're sitting here, you know, from a parental standpoint, what was the experience like for you on the other side? He's in there for 6.5 weeks, and you're on the outside doing all you can to get him out. What was that like for you?
It was traumatic. When I got that phone call, it was just crazy. His twin brother called me and like, Mom, you got to come down City Hall. I'm like, what's wrong? My friend has got shot. Like, he's on the ground. He's crying. I'm like, where your brother at? He like, I just seen him, but I don't know. I don't know where my brother. And then maybe like 2 seconds later, I hear somebody like, they got your brother. I'm like, what you mean they got your brother? He like, Mom, they got him in a paddy wagon. I'm like, for what? He like, Mom, hurry up down here. Hurry up. So I called my brother. We hurry up down City Hall. I hop out the car, and I'm talking to one of the policemen. And I'm like, I heard you have my son. Where's my son? And then I hear somebody say, Mom. I'm like, that's my child right there. Y'all have my child in a paddy wagon. And I'm like, is the guy and the other person, because they said he was involved in the shooting. So I'm like, well, they said they got 2 people. Is him and the other guy in there? No, they're not. They're separated. I'm like, so you telling me my child is involved in this shooting? I said, not my son. He said, everybody say not my child. I said, baby, not my child. I know my child. Definitely not involved in. He don't even like coming outside. Only reason why he came because his brother asked him to go to level up. And it's crazy, right before that, I called, because mind you, he broke his phone December 27th. So I said, I'm not buying you no phone. I'm not getting it fixed. You're going to get it fixed when I wanted to get it fixed. So right now, you're going to be without a phone. Make it work. And you know your brother, your twin brother ain't letting you use the phone. He's stingy. So I called 3 times. 923. I'm calling. They not picking up. I text. I said, where the F are you at? I haven't seen you since 7:14 a.m. It is almost past 14 hours since I seen you. When you get home, it's me and you on site. This is 9:25. 9:29, he calls me crying, saying, Mom, my friend just got shot. I'm like, look at that coincidence. If y'all asses would have answered the phone, y'all would have been on y'all way home. So once I get down to the police station, they telling me, once I get to City Hall, they telling me they have my son. They send the captain over to come talk to me. He's telling me I gotta go to the 9th Street. So I said, okay, I'll meet him down there. I'm maybe down at the 9th precinct for maybe an hour and a half before they even bring them down. Mind you, I'm going back and forth. I'm like, where my son at? Like y'all said y'all was, she's like, I don't have no juveniles in the back. Like I checked already, there's no juveniles. I don't know what's going on. At this point, a detective called me and told me they have my son. They're going to take him to the 9th precinct. I'm like, I'm already down here already. I'm waiting for y'all. I see my son get out the paddy wagon as they bringing him in through the back doorway. I yell to him and I tell him, don't say nothing. I'm getting you a lawyer. Remember, you watch Power. You know Tyreek. So after that point, I'm going back and forth. So the detectives come outside. He like, can you come in here? I would like to talk to you. So he telling me, yeah, we have your son. He was involved in a shooting. This young man, Tashawn, might die. I'm like, my son involved in a shooting. I said, what shooting? Like, you got the wrong kid, not my child. I'm like, did you see the video? No, I ain't see the video. So if you ain't see the video, how you going to tell me about my child if you ain't see the video?
Yeah.
Go see the video first, and then you come back and talk to me.
Yeah.
And I said, you can't talk to my son without me, a legal guardian, and a lawyer present. So he asked me to sign his paperwork. So he like, you going to sign it? I said, I got to read it first before I sign. So I read it, make sure everything is saying, you know, that they can't talk to him without a parent or anybody. So I sign it or whatever. I go back outside. I keep going back and forth. So a cop come up to me like, ma'am, you might as well go home. Mind you, it's almost 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I'm not going home without my child. Like, I'm staying right here. So he like, okay. He comes back a half an hour later. He like, ma'am, go home. It's going to be a long time. I said, that's fine. He was like, no. You're not understanding what I'm saying. it's going to be a long time. He was like, just go home and call down here and see what's going on. I'm like, you can't tell me what's going on? He like, I don't even know. At that time, I get out the car, I still see SEPTA police, so I go up and ask them, like, what's going on? Oh, I don't know. I just brung them here. I don't have. So all y'all dumbfounded. Nobody know what's going on.
Yeah. Everybody playing stupid. Yeah.
So I go home. I'm calling the detective. They like, oh, the detective left. He not back to Sunday. Sunday? It's Friday. Y'all gonna tell me something about my child?
Yeah.
I'm not waiting over this Sunday.
Yeah.
One detective, he like, oh, okay. Oh, your son got a criminal history. I'm looking. I said, no. My son don't got no criminal history. He like, oh, I'm so sorry. He doesn't. This is his first time. I said, so what are y'all charging him with? Oh, he's charged with conspiracy. He's gonna be charged with conspiracy, reckless endangerment, but he got to go through a hearing, I think the next day or whatever. So I reached out to a lawyer. He had bail. The bail was $150K SOB. So SOB means he can walk out. He can sign himself out. Maybe a half an hour later goes past. He like, wait, don't come down here yet. The DA doesn't like what the bail person or the judge, so they're talking to an emergency judge at this point. The emergency judge now sets the bail. It's still at $150K, but now it's 15%. So 10%, so it goes to $15K that I have to pay. So he like, you got $15K. I'm like, yeah, I can get it. I'm gonna call my brother. My brother, he lives down south or whatever. So my brother like, okay, we gonna get him out. My cousin, he like, wait, do not bail him out yet. Wait till the preliminary. And then the child might pass away. If the child passed away, they're going to up the charges. Well, thank God I didn't, because what the lawyer said was, if I would have bailed him out and once they up the charges, they would have served him with a warrant for his arrest. And he said they was coming to your house between 3 to 5 o'clock in the morning. Yep. And y'all you think you turning over to the other side? You turning over to guns at your forehead. Yeah. And not only that, they would have put him up CFCF. And it would have took weeks before he can go to the juvenile system. And that's even if the judge would have let him transfer to the juvenile system.
You know, one of the things that I just doing the research on it, I'm sitting here, you know, I'm not a super journalist, but I know enough about journalism to know that you should not report a minor has any criminal record whatsoever. Now, in his case, he didn't have one even. But I'm watching CBS, and it says both people had criminal records. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, like, no, he didn't. Why did they even say that? They planted this seed for whatever reason, and now everybody's like, oh, yeah, well, he had a criminal record. I'm like, no, but he's a minor at that. So even if he had one, they shouldn't have said it.
Because they upped his charges to adult. Right.
They changed him from a minor to an adult.
No, it was always an adult.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they was always going to charge him as an adult.
But the crazy thing I always thought was they charged him without evidence.
Correct.
They charged him without seeing a video. They charged him without seeing anything. I don't even know if they had witnesses to it to say that your son did this.
The police report that they wrote, I had it the whole time. It says nothing about my son. Only thing it says about my son, they went to arrest him on a platform, and that's it. That's all it says about my child. It don't even say too much about the co-defendant. It don't say really nothing too much about him. And then it says both kids run off together. No, they didn't. I seen the video.
Yeah.
They didn't run off together. My son ran way before the other co-defendant ran, and they went opposite ways.
There was so much about this story that was just so...
Because I have so many questions.
I mean, the questions you keep asking, I mean, particularly with the DA, you're sitting around, you're saying to yourself, like, you have a 16-year-old who you're accusing of murder, conspiracy, and whatever other charges they had with him, and you don't do your due diligence to make sure that this is the right person you have. My assumption is because of the color of his skin, that this was the reason why they just went ahead and was like, no, go ahead, lock him up.
And it's crazy. They put his face
all over the news,
all over social media. It was embarrassing. It was disrespectful. It was humiliated. Like, I couldn't breathe. Like, I'm getting phone calls, text messages. Like, is this your son? And I'm like, because in the beginning, nobody knew about it.
Yeah.
But just me, my brother that lived down south, my other brother, my dad, and my mom.
Yeah.
That was it. It was under wraps the whole time. I would never told anybody what happened if it never came out on the news.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they never showed his face. And it took them a month after he got out to retract his story.
Now, you talk about that. There are litanies of retractions, but because I like to do research, I know this, right? But everybody who just took that story that they made sensationally, they didn't read them retractions. They didn't watch Channel 6 or ABC and see that they're retracting the story. You know, sometimes when you plant the seed, it's going to grow. You can't unplant that seed.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go back and be like, oh, we made a mistake. You can't make a mistake when you're in that position. You have a young man's life, a family's life in your hands pretty much. And it's your responsibility to make sure that you have all the facts correct. And if you don't have them correct, you get them correct. That is journalism 101. So I'm looking at all these videos and news stories and all this stuff. So I'm like, they're just reporting what was on this police report. They're not reporting what happened.
The police report was wrong.
But that's what they're using to tell their story.
Right.
Not the facts, not what really happened. They're using this information that they say the police gave. So, I mean, how many times we seen in Philly black men, young men, be locked up or wrongfully accused for something? How many times does that happen? Continuously. And Zaire is an example of what happens to black men, but he's also an example of what happens when you don't get the facts straight, when you don't care about these people's lives, when you don't care about the repercussions of this. Now, these people in the news, they talking about, he committed a crime, blah, blah, blah. They don't know what's going on in his life, what he's being affected by, who's threatening him, who's threatening his family, who's talking about coming to his house. They don't care about that. They put his whole life in danger.
They put half of my address out on the news. And
then they can't, what, are they going to take that back? He's going to take that back now? That information's out there. Right. It's just out there. So,
my son got threats. I mean, times that he was calling me, crying. He wanted to commit suicide. And I'm trying to be strong as a mom. Like, you got to pray. Like, I just need you to pray. Like, do not do anything to yourself. I'm going to get you out of here. I'm going to do my best to get you out of here. At this point, I got a lawyer. I got a private lawyer. I'm calling the lawyer every day. Like, what's going on? Why haven't they seen the video? Is it because SEPTA and the DA has something going on where SEPTA want to hire their own new people to do their investigations? I'm like, is this a political thing? I'm like, okay, we're at the court and he talking to the DAs, the juvenile DA and the adult homicide DA, and they both talking about they haven't seen the video. One judge, she like, how y'all come in my courtroom? This is a high-profile case. Been all over the news, CNN, everywhere. And you haven't seen this video? Something is wrong.
Yeah.
She like, I'll give y'all 6 weeks. My lawyer like, no, we can do it in 2 weeks. She like, no, I'm going to give you 6 weeks. March 13th was the day we were supposed to go back to the IOJ judge to decide if he's going to stay at the Youth Study Center or he was going up State Road. And if it wasn't for Quadir being a stand-up young man and telling the truth that my son had nothing to do with it, he wrote a statement. They called me that morning. What was that? Martin Luther King. So it was that Tuesday morning. She called me around like 8 o'clock and was like, oh, Miss Wilson, I have something to... I said, wait, something wrong with my son? Did something happen? No, I have something to tell you. I'm like, what do you have to tell me? She like, oh, the co-defendant, he wrote a letter. He going around telling everybody my son had nothing to do with it. Why young boy crying? He gonna get out soon. He ain't had nothing to do with it. I wish he stopped crying and acting like a punk.
That's trauma.
Like I'm telling him, I'm like, what kind of unit you on? A sight and sound. What's that? What that sound a little crazy to me. Sight and sound. He like, we can't go nowhere. We just confined to a floor. Everything comes to us. Food, school, lunch, medical. If they have like extra activities, they come to them. They're not allowed to leave. And if they leave, they got to shut everything down where they can walk the floor and probably go outside or to the gym and stuff like that. I think everybody on the unit was like high-profile murder cases. I'm like, baby, stay in your room. You're not about this life.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't come out. And they wonder why, like, why he not coming out the room? Because he with a bunch of killers. No. My child not into that.
Yeah.
Stay in your room. Read. I said, pick up the Bible. Read a bunch of books. Write. I said, we going to send you letters. Write us back.
Yeah.
Like, it was just crazy just talking to my child. And I'm like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Like, I remember one night I'm in a bathroom and I'm crying for hours and hours. I'm on the floor. Like, my parents never heard me cry a day in my life. I'm not a crybaby. Like, I'm very strong. And I always said if something happened to my kids, that would be my breaking moment. My mom called my dad and was like, I don't know what to say to her. You gotta talk to her. She in there crying. And I'm like, I don't want to talk to nobody. Leave me alone. Like, I don't want to answer no phone, no text messages, no nothing. Like, just leave me alone at this point. Like, I'm stressed. I've never been more stressed in my life as I've been since January 11th. I got to protect myself, my son, his twin brother, to make sure, you know, nothing happens to them. He's locked up. His other twin, we stressed. We not eating. I'm losing mad weight. Like, I'm going to say 15 pounds in them 6 weeks.
Wow.
Like, I was crying every day, all the time, trying to hold myself up. And I'm like, I needed to talk to somebody, but I'm like, I don't want to talk to nobody.
Yeah.
I don't feel like nobody asking me, you know, dumb questions and stuff. But if I was going through something, I would call his aunt she like really helped me get through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
She helped me interview different lawyers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think we interviewed about 7 different lawyers or
That would
something.
make sense.
You know, my dad, I would call him. We would stay on the phone, you know, late night and everything. We'll get into arguments. And he like, you know what? I'ma just let you do you. Like at this point, you don't want to listen.
Right.
I'm
right.
like, this my son. Like I just can't let my son go down this road.
Yeah.
This not him.
Yeah. You did all you could to protect him from that road.
And
you
I'm
did all
like,
for him
my
not to
son
be there.
is in so many different organizations. And I'm like, why him? Why you had to speak to him?
Yeah.
What was your point of speaking? You could have just walked right on through and kept it moving.
Yeah.
You ain't had to say one word to him.
Yeah.
And like I tell him, wrong place at the wrong time.
Mm-hmm.
And all these friends turned their back on him. Oh, he backdoored him. Oh, he had something to do with the news. Said this. The news wouldn't have kept the police wouldn't have kept you if you ain't had something to do with it. None of y'all was there. Make it make sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Y'all wasn't there. The news just put out my son and his co-defendant and a young man. Oh, Zaire came with his co-defendant. No, he didn't. He didn't come with that man. It was other people in their group that was all together that was never even put out to the media. And they never even questioned the other people that was a part of their group.
Mm-hmm.
So they never even. How do you not question witnesses?
They didn't, because I asked the other 2 people that was with them.
Yeah.
No, they never said nothing to us. They never pulled us to the side or anything.
Sis, I hope you got names and badge numbers. Okay?
Oh, I have it all.
As
And
you
then that
should.
detective from SEPTA, what's his name? Charles or something like that.
Yeah. Give them up.
Right.
let
Put them
that
Yeah,
be
he
known.
was the main one.
Let them be
Oh,
known.
they got criminal records. This is their 3rd time. Baby, this not my son 3rd time.
Yeah.
This is 1st time and his last time going to see behind some walls.
Yeah.
He not used to this cough, spread your butt cheeks, hold your nuts, call 4 times. He not used to that. Make your bed up at 5 o'clock. Unmake the bed. Put the bed back together. Take the stuff off the wall. He not used. Oh, go in your room. Lights out. 8 o'clock. 15-minute calls. He don't know nothing about that.
Yeah.
It's traumatizing to him.
Very much so.
Waking him up at the middle of the night as he's screaming and yelling in his sleep. It's traumatizing. It's crazy. It took so long. My son been out since February 29th. He will start therapy on Friday. That's a month and a
I
half
was gonna
from
ask you about
calling different places
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
It took a lot just to try to get him some therapy.
Yeah.
He has one on Monday. One on Friday. One on Monday. A panic. I think it's called Panic Room,
Yeah.
or something like that. Another place, LaSalle or something like that. They have. But it took too long
to get the help he needed.
To get the help that he needed.
Yeah.
So what, I gotta go to the emergency room and say my son tried to commit suicide for y'all to give him help?
Yeah.
So you're not going to give him help. You're going to him inpatient.
Yeah.
You're going to put him in another facility where he already just came.
It's trauma on top of trauma.
Right.
You do that. Yeah.
Y'all send these, y'all think every child is bad. Especially these adults. Y'all swear everybody is bad. Y'all believe everything the news have to say. And y'all don't never get the facts. And then when the facts come out, you ain't got nothing to say.
Yeah.
Where are the people that was saying Oh, give them life. They should get the death penalty. Oh my God, I can't stand these. Throw the book at him. Oh, but soon as it came back, he had nothing to do with it. Nobody to say nothing.
Yeah.
It's so many times I'm reading these comments and I wanted to respond. I see my family members in the comments arguing with people and stuff like that. Like, y'all don't even know what y'all talking about. But y'all just going off what the news say.
Yeah.
I can't believe what the news said.
Yeah.
The news said my son had priors. The news said my son handed somebody a gun. My son ain't never touched a gun.
And that was the question that I had. If there was a gun involved and he touched the gun, would his fingerprints be on the gun?
They took the fingerprints the detective said they know he didn't have enough. They know he didn't touch the gun. They had the gun. They had everything.
I mean, even without the video, there were signs that he didn't do this.
Right.
Because he, you know, I'm not a shooter, but if you shoot somebody, I'm not thinking you're gonna stick around.
And that's the only thing where the co-defendant messed up at. He stuck around. He came back after he left.
Crazy. So I read a quote that you gave to a news agency. You said, "My son went in one way. He went in one person, came out another
person."
Yes, he did. He is not the same young man that he went in with. Now he's like on edge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do this. You be like, Zaire, you can't talk. You can't talk to me. You can't do this. Can't do that. Oh my God, I can't. Can y'all just stop? I need peace. I need this and that.
Yeah.
Like he's on go all the time.
Yeah.
He's bored.
And I'll say this to both of you. However you feel, run with it. Don't hold back or shut yourself down because of what you think the person to the left or the right is going to say or do. Zaire, if you're having a bad day, let it be known that you're having a bad day, and you are entitled to have your bad day because you went through something.
Yeah.
There is no time limit or limitation as to how long it's going to take you to get through whatever it is that you're going through.
Yeah.
It's going to be a while. It's going to take a minute. You might not ever get over it, and I don't expect you to. And all I'm saying to you is, however you feeling, run with it. You are entitled to your feelings because it should have never happened. And the same thing goes for you, Mom, because as long as he went through it, you went through it too.
Right.
You know, so yeah, run with your feelings, but please don't let anybody tell you how you should feel or what you should be doing or how things should go, or you know what I mean? Because people will sit there and tell you, well, that happened last year.
Yeah.
You still talking about it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, he out now. Why y'all still harping on it? No.
You bring up something. This is the thing. You bring up something. You know, in the media world, social media, regular media, everything happens so fast. Everything happens so quickly. People's life change in the snap of a finger, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what happened to Zaire in January? We're in April right now. People not thinking about this no more when they should be.
Because it can happen to anybody.
If you have a 15, 16, 14, 13-year-old, 12-year-old out there, it could happen to your son.
Right.
Your daughter even. It can happen. So the fact of the matter is, I think we as a community have to remember that, like we have trauma. The trauma doesn't just go away after the story goes away.
Not at all.
You got to fight your trauma.
You do.
Mm-hmm.
You do. You have to
go through it.
And you know, he said something earlier about something he likes to do. Now to kind of hit home, Ty. He was talking about, you know, he likes to do music, and he likes to rap, and you know, for me, my therapy has always been music, and music has always been something that saved me from those things, those traumas I experienced. You know, so Zaire, how's the music coming now? Are you like I don't even want to do it no more? I don't feel like that's something I want to even try. I'm through with it. How you feel about that?
Oh no, I want to do music. I'm gonna do it for Shawty.
Amen.
There you go.
Amen. Because that's what he would have wanted you to do. He would have wanted you to keep that going, keep that legacy going, keep what you had built with your team and your friends. I can't fathom what he went through. Okay, I never been in jail. I might have had a run-in with the cops, nothing crazy, but I never went to jail. I never had that experience, and let alone at 16.
You know, his life, when I say his life is not going to be the same. You look up Zaire Wilson, you still see articles about him being guilty. Then you see articles about all charges was dropped. I remember just a couple of, like 2 weeks ago, I'm calling, we're having like this intake for him to get therapy. And I'm telling the lady, and she's like, okay, when this happened, I'm like, I don't remember the date, but I remember the date. So she was like, can you hold on for a minute? I say, yeah. She comes back maybe 5 minutes later. I said, let me ask you something. Did you just go and research my child? She said, what you say? Did you research my child? No, I didn't. My coworker did. So what was your point? So you telling me you didn't believe what I was saying?
No, she didn't. And
I said, you know what? You have a good rest of the day. And this is something that my son is going to deal with, because now he has to get his record expunged, both of them. One for the first one, and then when they up the charges to first degree murder, he has to get it expunged. So when he goes to apply for a job, they're going to ask him, oh, it says you was locked up, charges was withdrew, but now you got to explain what happened. You might get someone that's sympathetic, that feel for you, but then you might get somebody that be like, oh no, I'm not hiring this thug. He got locked up. He ain't working for my company. And that's a shame, because that's something he never experienced or wanted to go through. Is being in jail. I feel like no kid should ever experience this. And not only that, it's so easy to get in trouble. It is hard to get out
of it.
And these kids now, 15, 16, that's playing with these guns, shooting stuff up. Let me tell you something. It's not worth it. Your parents ain't got 50 to 100K to cough up to a lawyer for a murder case.
that's something I was gonna ask you. If I said to you, what's the cost of freedom, what would you say?
We interviewed 7, 50 to 100K. If it had to go to trial, 50 to 100K. I don't have 50K to cough out. Now, maybe I got to do what I got to do to get it, but I'm going to get my son out. But best to believe, my family was right there ready to cough up some money with no problem. Like, they don't understand. When you get in trouble and you got these co-defendants, only one of y'all can get a what's the other one? Public defender. Only one of y'all can get a public defender. The rest of y'all gonna get court appointed, or your parents gotta pay for a lawyer. Only one is getting a public defender. Everybody else better hope your parent, and better hope the court appointed lawyer is pretty good, because they just got out of school. You done.
They're going to be looking to settle, and they're not looking to fight.
Right. They're looking to settle.
Zaire, let me ask you this, man. You know, before January 11th, what was your perception of the justice system?
Wrong. Like, it was wrong. Because I know, like, before January 11th, I'll be outside. Cops will just harass my other friends. Like, we'll go downtown just to go to level up. I guess stuff be happening downtown.
Mm-hmm.
They'll just grab random kids and take them to the youth study center.
Wow.
So they kidnapping kids now?
I knew 2 people who I was with last year when Shotty was with me. I guess something happened downtown. They grabbed 2 of my friends and took them to the youth study center, and they got out 3 weeks later for something they ain't do.
So this is what you're pretty much saying, that this is something that happens on a regular basis.
The cops be harassing us.
Cops don't care. They see a group of kids. Everybody in that group is trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And half of the time, it don't even be like
true.
that. It might be one bad apple out your group.
Mm-hmm. Mess it up for everybody else.
But everybody else got to fall victim to what's going on.
But you know what, though, Ms. Hanibal? I'm going to say this. I find that media and a lot of other people, they focus so much on the children or the kids that are in trouble instead of focusing on the ones that are not in trouble. They pay more attention to the kids that are doing harm than the ones that are doing good, the ones that are trying to make a difference in their community. They rather put his face on the TV instead of saying, this young man is an artist. He's a creator. You know what I mean? The things that he's done in his life. That doesn't matter to them. What matters to them is that he, quote unquote, committed a crime.
Right.
But at the end of the day, like I said before, the seed was planted. And you can't take that seed back. How you going to take that back?
Right.
Yeah.
So, Mom, I'm going to ask you, before January 11th, what was your perception of the media? And after January 11th, what's your perception of the media?
See, I never really watched the news, but I'll watch No Gun Zone and stuff like that. That's how I would know about everything that was going on. And I'll just be like, it's crazy how they do black people.
You just never think it would happen to you or your family.
You'll be like, y'all don't treat white people like this.
They sure don't.
Not at all.
They sure don't. If the same thing happened and he was happened to be a white 16-year-old, they would have done all they could to make sure he didn't commit that crime.
I seen the video when they came to him with guns pointed and everything, threw him on the ground. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I seen y'all walk up to 16-year-olds. Okay, we're going to put the cuffs behind you. You'll be fine. We're going to walk you upstairs. No, because they black and we in an inner city community, they think everybody is bad.
And that's part of police training, too.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's what, shoot first, ask questions later.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's crazy.
And that's why I was saying pretty much the status is what it's supposed to be is innocent till proven guilty. However, what it is in our
Guilty
society
until proven
innocent. But even in Zaire's case, it's guilty till proven ... Because he had still been dealing with the same ramifications of what happened. People still saying he did it. People still saying it, whatever. Even with the retractions. I saw the research. You look at it, there's a list of retractions, but then there's stories right next to it.
Mm-hmm.
So if somebody's reading this, his name pops up, what are they going to believe?
Right.
But how big were the retractions, though?
They're not big at all. They're like a minute and a half, or as far as video. The news articles are like 500 words. That's it. They're not saying, well, they never had a video. You know, he did not commit the crime. All they said is that the DA dropped the charges. That's it. And a lot of times you could think about it, particularly in Philly, the DA can drop the charges for anything. They might not have enough evidence. They drop the charges. So it has to be he was innocent, not charges dropped. That's a difference. It's a big difference. Because people get off all the time, charges drop. Well, I might have committed the crime, but they ain't got no evidence, right?
Right.
That doesn't mean I'm not guilty. It just means you ain't got no evidence. In Zaire's case, he didn't do it. So he should be innocent, not charges dropped, like, period.
You know, and I'll just throw this out there. I'll take it a step further. Mayor Sherelle Parker.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am. You now have the stand. I'm going to need you to make things a little bit better.
Yes.
So that people like Zaire don't have to go through what they went through. You have the power The ball is in your court. Miss Parker, do something. You know what I mean? Take it straight to the mayor.
These kids need jobs.
Yep.
Yeah,
They need guidance.
They need outlets.
Because this shouldn't have never
Big
happened.
Brother programs.
Yeah.
A lot of these young men don't have father figures. And my son, his dad is not in his life or whatever. But I think my brother knows he lived down south, but my brother calls, he checks up on him. He talks to him all the time. Like if Zaire or Zaki needs something, call the uncle, Cash App or whatever, he'll do it. Mm-hmm. And I'm happy that my brother is in his life, that, you know, he's able to be that role model for him and everything. Yeah. My son looks up to him. But these kids need something to do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They need more outlets.
They need programs. They need people are money hungry.
They are.
The black community is money hungry.
Very much so.
They need money. So in order to get money, you need jobs. And you don't need jobs to be looking at them any old type of way because they got a record. Half of these jobs is getting money from the state.
Yeah.
Just for hiring y'all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, they've done a lot to remove access for kids to have certain things. Mm-hmm. In schools, they've closed schools.
They closed down the rec centers.
Programs. Yeah. They're shutting down rec centers.
Closed up libraries.
And they use the example of where we have to budget this, or we're cutting the budget. And it's like, yeah, but you don't have
the budget in
Go ahead.
Montgomery County.
Go ahead.
All that stuff is open.
Yeah, wide open.
You don't never cut. We go out there all the time.
Yep. Now, this is what they say. They're cutting the budget. These things aren't available anymore. If it's for us, more than likely they're going to cut it.
And then they wonder why everything is going to the left.
Yes.
Right.
And they wonder why these things are happening. Mm-hmm. They wonder why. Zaire, what would you say to your peers that might be listening in reference to your experience, but also in reference to just kind of what to look out for? You know, because you had an experience like no one else. So what would you say? What kind of advice would you give to your peers?
Always stay on point. Always watch your back. And don't hang out with people that you think in your heart that's gonna get you in trouble. Like if you have a gut feeling, go with it.
God tells you everything.
Because I had a gut feeling when I was down Fenty Street. That's why I wanted to go home so early. I ain't go with it, so I just stayed. I should have went with my gut feeling. I would never be in this situation if I went with it.
Don't beat yourself up about that.
Yeah.
Don't do that, because we all got gut feelings, and sometimes we don't pay attention to them. So, you know, like your mom said, wrong place, wrong time. But yeah, don't beat yourself up about that, man. That's a lot. You know, I keep saying this, like, you're 16, bro. I'm 44, man. I couldn't imagine even what you went through. I couldn't. You know, so for you to be sitting here with us tonight and telling your story, you know, I honor you. I commend you. You earn this, bro. Your story is profound. Your story is the story of other black young men out there. But this is your story. This is your experience. This is what you went through. And, you know, I really pray that you just have the wherewithal to keep going and keep pushing. You know, it might not leave you. You know, it might stay with you for the rest of your life. But just know, man, like, you got bigger things coming to you.
You know what? And I'll take it a step further. If you need a letter, a recommendation, you need a reference,
yeah,
we got you.
We definitely got you.
Between the three of us, yeah, you need anything, you let us know.
We got you.
We got you.
We're doing a...
you're not by yourself.
No, you're
not at all.
You're really not. We're doing a project on black men's mental health. And you're the type of young man that a lot of the brothers that we talk to understand and can relate to. You know, black men and mental health. You talked about how you were crying when you were in there, and how, you know, everybody tell you stop crying. You know, you really had to go through it. You had to let those emotions out. Your thoughts are real. Your feelings are real. Your emotions are real. You're human. Before you're a black man, you're human. And a lot of times they make us feel like we have to be a certain kind of way in order to exist in the society we live in. But you don't. You be yourself. You be who you are. You know, you don't have to accept what happened, but you know that your future is better than what happened on January 11th. And I'm honored that you're sitting here with us. I'm honored that you got out. You know, and Mom, like, we can give you your flowers right now. Like, you did a hell of a job with raising your kids and raising your twins and being the mom that you are. Because obviously you have a great son here. And, you know, it's just some people thought that because he's a young black man, that he's automatically guilty.
That's not the case.
Yeah. That's not it at all.
No, not at all.
You know, and
I didn't even had to ask myself twice, do you think, no, I know he ain't do it.
Yeah, and they hit you with the same, that's what all the moms say, not my baby, not my baby, but you knew your child.
No, not mine.
Yeah.
I know for sure, not mine.
Yeah. Mom, what would you say to parents out there that may have gone through this experience, or they may not have, but
they have
could
teenagers
happen
in general?
Yeah.
You gotta stay prayed up. Make sure you have a good support system. Money to the side, because if you know your child is innocent, you have to fight.
Yeah.
And sometimes a public defender ain't going to do it. So you might have to go the other route and get you a private attorney that's going to fight. But you got to stay on that lawyer also.
Yeah.
And make sure he's doing everything that he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like, the one thing that I think is important is, if you're a parent and you have a teenage kid, communication. Yeah. Let your kids know that they can come to you no matter what it is.
Communication is everything. I mean, my sons come to me with a lot.
Her face say it all, right?
burning your ears.
I'm like, I don't want to hear it. They're like, but Mom, you can't call a guy and ask. No, Mom. He's asking you. And I'm like, all right, I'll come back. Let me find out, and I'll come
do my research myself.
Yeah. And it shows that you had great communication.
It does.
With your kids.
It does.
You know what I mean? Even when, you were like, hey, where are you? And you haven't gotten back to me. And you know what I mean? That communication. Because there are some parents that don't check up on their kids, don't care what their kids are doing, let their kids run the street, and that was not you, Mom.
Yeah, because his brother was supposed to come straight home from school that day. I said, I talked to you 3 times, and you ain't coming straight home?
Yeah.
Crazy.
And you, I mean, like I said, there are some parents, they don't know where their kids are at. They don't know what their kids are doing.
We can't thank you enough, brother, for coming in tonight, man, and sharing your story and sharing your experience and telling the world how you feel. There's no retractions over here. I'm going to tell you, your story is real. Your story is what it is. It's all true for a fact. Not what media says, no sensation. So we like to get it from the source, and we appreciate you for being that source. Really. Honestly. T, anything you want to say, Mama?
Again, I'm so sorry that you had to go through all of that. Thank you for sharing your story. It's 2 sides.
Always.
To every story.
Always.
So it was great to hear what you had to say. Not even that, but thank you, Mom, for coming in and, letting your son know that he wasn't by himself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? From the second that it happened, you had his back.
Yeah.
So again, thank you both for coming in and, just telling your story and just putting it out there.
Yeah.
You are loved. You are appreciated.
Very much. Ty, what you feel, man?
Just stay strong, man. You know what I mean? You got positive things going on in your life. Working on positive things in your life, man. You know what I mean? Just get better. All right? Just get better.
True that. Mom, anything you want to say?
I just want to say R.I.P. to Shadi and to his mom.
Yeah.
I know she can't get him back, and I know it's hard, you know, dealing with pain. I haven't experienced, so I don't know exactly what she's going through.
Yeah.
But I have prayed for her and her son. And I pray that one day she's able to get her life back on track and try to move forward.
Yeah.
She can't forgive the guy for, you know, murdering her son. But she had to forgive in her heart.
Yeah.
And I just want to say that I'm sorry this had to happen to her personally.
I
Because
understand.
I don't never want to experience something happening to one of my twins. Because I don't know
Yeah.
where I would be if something happened to one of my kids.
I understand. I definitely understand. But, you know, Miss Hanibal, when I called you, I wasn't, you know, we got a referral to interview you.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to our referral. I'm just going to say that. But, you know, when she told me about it, I was real taken back. Because I'm like you, I don't watch the news. I stopped watching it because it's beyond depressing. That's what they would say, right?
Right.
But she's telling me the story, and I remember glimpses of seeing it, like you said, no gun zone, that kind of thing. And when she started telling me the story, I already knew what it was hitting on. I was like, they just ran him through the mud. They took his name and just ran with it. They didn't care. And I said to myself, you know, it would be great for you and him to come on.
Have a voice.
To have a voice without any interruptions or without any editing, as they would say.
Mm-hmm.
But you could just say what you need to say, talk about your experience, and really let the public know, like, this is what we went through. And this could be you too. Yeah. You know, so I appreciate you even for receiving the call and accepting to come on tonight. I'm truly taken back and truly humbled by what y'all went through, man. This ain't for the faint of hearts, I would say sometimes. People, you know, they want to just have fun all the time. Life ain't always fun. This ain't for the weak or the timid, as they would say, right?
It's not for the weak.
Yeah.
You gotta be strong. You gotta have a strong support system. And you gotta have a strong mind.
Yeah.
You really do, in order to deal with everything. Because it could have been a long process.
It could have been, yeah. He could have been in there for, like,
years.
he said he had, you know, guys that was in there with him that was been in there a year, 2 years.
I talked to a mom that went through the same situation. She said her son was in there for 7 months. 7 months.
Wow.
And she said, I wish I was able to talk to someone that went through the same similar situation when my son was locked up.
Let me ask you this real quick. Are there any support groups for families like in your situation?
No, I just got talked to that person through his mentor. He hooked me up with the lady. He told me about her son, and me and her spoke on the phone and everything. So
there's really no place for families that have had this experience to come together and work, I guess, do work, as they say, together to heal through these things. There's nothing like that exists.
Not that I know of.
Yeah, I definitely reach out to Daddy University and Sherelle Parker.
Whoever the therapist was that we spoke with last week that
Doc,
we interviewed.
Yeah, Inspired and Free. Definitely. Dr. Delisa Martinez will definitely be something like that. Right. And you mentioned, you know, you talked about how hard it was for you to find a therapist. Like we just had a therapist on last week. That dealt with families and youth and, you know, couples therapy, that kind of thing. So I was sitting there thinking to myself, like, yo, she went through that much to find a therapist. And I mean, no, this is what it is. It's true. In order to find a therapist, this is not like, let me just get Google it and find one. That's not where it goes. Mm-mm. Particularly a black one, or one that understands where you come from. You know what I mean? So it's not easy.
The therapist that he had in the youth study center, she was very good, very good. But she wasn't black. She was Caucasian, and she was hip, because she knew everything, like certain blacks who got beef with this and this. I'm like, How you know, girl? You know a little bit more than me.
Yeah.
She was like, I got to.
Yeah, it's her job.
I got to working in here with these kids.
Yeah, it's her job. It's her job to know what's going
Right.
on in these streets, as they would say, you know? Man.
Thank you.
No, thank you is an understatement. I greatly appreciate you. We greatly appreciate you. You know, Miss Hanibal, Zaire, can't just thank y'all enough for coming on tonight. This is an eye-opener. It's a real eye-opener. I hope to all our listeners out there, everyone listening right now, I hope that you felt the same way that we feel. This was an eye-opener. And, you know, we got to make sure we continue to prep up Zaire where he needs to be. You know, continue to give him that positive encouragement. Let him know he has a family out here.
Not even that, but this will not make you or break you.
Yeah, it won't.
Amen to that.
It won't. It won't. So, you know, with that being said, family, we're going to take a hiatus. We're going to end the show. It's a lot to be said. Well, you know, you can always call us with your comments and your questions at 215-472-0881. Again, it's 215-472-0881. You can also email us at jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. Again, it's jimmybondspodcast@gmail.com. It's JIMMYBONDS podcast@gmail.com. And as always, family, remember, call somebody. Maybe a friend, might be a loved one, might be somebody you talked to yesterday or somebody you ain't talked to in a long time. Just call them and tell them you love them, because you never know when you might get another chance. So until the next episode, you can find us on Go Hope Road, screaming, stay up, don't sleep in your dreams. My brother Ty, my sister T,
Hey.
Miss Hanibal,
Hey.
brother Zaire, I'm Jimmy Bonds, and we out. Peace.
Good night.